And Schlocktober 2012 rolls on. Some of you may have been wondering where the Schlocktober pumpkins went during last week's look at Orca. Well, funny story. Orcas are actually the natural enemy of the Cursubitaceae squash family. Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize that, since pumpkins don't tend to grow anywhere near where orcas tend to be, but when they do run into each other, let me tell you, they don't get along. So, yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, they're back now. Thus far, Schlocktober has been a little bigger this year than last year, with all three movies thus far being pretty well known and at least one of them being something of a major blockbuster in its time. Well, this week we're going obscure. Really obscure. If you've seen this before, hats off to you.
70 million years ago, the creatures known as dinosaurs mysteriously disappeared from the planet Earth. It was thought that they would never be seen again. But in the year 2000, the people of Earth were amazed and terrified by the greatest catastrophe ever known to mankind, the reappearance of the dinosaurs. The Earth is ours!
Okay, some context is probably needed regarding Attack of the Super Monsters. In the early 80s, home video was almost as revolutionary as the internet would be a decade later. For the first time, you didn't have to watch something on TV's schedule, you could just push a button and start it up. Unfortunately, not everything you might have wanted to see was actually on video. This is why there were so many strange, cheap videos in the horror and children's section back then. Those audiences were starved for content, so you could release pretty much anything, especially if you could get it for cheap, like, say, a quickie import from Japan you could quickly dub and remarket however you wanted and turn a profit. For example, this was how American audiences first experienced Hayao Miyazaki's Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. Really? As you've no doubt already guessed from the footage, Attack of the Super Monsters is one of these Eastern imports, a movie actually comprised of a handful of re-edited episodes from the 1977 Japanese series Kyoryo Daisenso Eisenbogu, roughly translated as Dinosaur War Eisenborg. It's a tokusatsu series about giant monsters attacking the Earth. The Earth here meaning major metropolitan centers in Japan, naturally. Our story? Well, this.
Though some of the creatures are willing to live peacefully underground, they are forced to attack humans by their mad ruler, Emperor Tyrannus. For with his superpowers, he is capable of turning any animal into a murderous beast that will obey his every command.
I obey!
Yeah, the dinosaurs talk in this. It's odd. What's kind of fun at first is that instead of being opposed by a good giant guy or even the usual costumed superheroes, Earth here defends itself mostly with elaborate vehicles that seem to relish their own obvious toy origins. So it's Ultraman meets Thunderbirds. I can dig it, but where are all the people? Well...
You can't hide!
Yeah. Monster suits, toy planes, anime people. You have to wonder if even Japan looked at this and said, you think this might be a little too us?
What is that thing? Oh!
What you're looking at is a Tyrannosaurus, king of dinosaurs.
Okay, so our heroes are the usual anime and/or tokusatsu stock team. Professor Science Von Mustache, the nerd, the fat guy, the girl, and her brother, the humorless, taciturn, jerk-faced leader who for some reason is always right about everything ever. Their names are Jim and Jem, by the way, and they're twins. That's supposed to be important because they've been kitted out with bionic superpowers, which they access via a process where they merge bodies into a single half-male, half-female super being called Gemini.
Jim!
Jim! Gemini!
Gemini!
Okay, so that's kind of bizarre on its face, but is it just me, or does the fact that they're siblings make it just kind of icky? Like, ew. You know what I mean? Yeah. Little too intimate, kinda, is all I'm saying. Sorta gross. Anyway, fusing into borderline incestuous composite gender Superman only lasts for about 3.5 minutes, and for some reason also changes their plane into a 7-year-old's idea of a much more effective plane, and they invariably dispatch the monster of the day so efficiently you have to wonder why they didn't just do that in the first place. And since this is an episode compilation movie, you get to see this play out with very little variation about 4 more times before a brief non-ending. The only real notable moment being the one-time Gem kinda sorta stands up to Captain No Fun here.
It was his fault.
I don't appreciate your telling me what to do with my money or my blouse.
You're too soft-hearted. I'm going to have to talk to Michael about this myself.
Over my dead body, you will.
Almost.
Oh, you may be my brother, but I hate you!
stop it right now. I'm sorry, Jim, but we can't afford to be acting like spiteful children now. We have a job to do.
But otherwise, it's a lot of this.
Oh my gosh!
The super monster known as Ashtaroth controls the rats with the vibrating hum of the armored plates on his back, causing them to become bloodthirsty fiends.
You puny humans! You can't hurt me!
I think we've been hit.
The super monsters will attack again.
Gemini! You cannot save the human race!
Attack of the Super Monsters is one of those videos I think a lot of people might have seen as kids and then assumed they'd hallucinated. For years, you could only get it on unfortunate bootlegs, but believe it or not, this actually did come out on DVD recently, so hunt it down if this sort of nonsense be your thing. Next week on Schlocktober? Well, that would be telling. I'm Bob, and that's the big picture.